Okay? So kokara gets an H in there, becomes kokara after don. Okay? Karas anam don kokara. Okay? And what's the doctor's name? Doktor begins with a D, so nothing happens after don. So karas anam don doktor. Okay? And Saijur, meaning a soldier, begins with an S, so it gets a T in front of it. So karas anam don taijur. Okay? So a couple more. Yeah, first page, number 24 and 5 and 6. Okay? Now let's look at a couple more words. So kad is anam. What will put the bill in there? So we're asking the name of someone. Okay, the word for teacher is moonchor. Okay. So how would you ask what is the teacher's name? Don Moonchor. Okay. So it gets united. Karas anam don moonchor. Okay. How about let's do another word. Sagart is a priest. So how would you ask what's the priest's name? Okay, Don Sagart.
How do you say the TS again?
Sagart. You pronounce the T, don't pronounce the S. So that gets stuck on there. Okay, and if you've ever seen the name Taggart in Irish as a surname, a lot of times it comes from McIntaggart or something like that, or McTaggart. But that's why there's a T in there, because it gets stuck in front of the S in certain cases.
How come that ends in R, but doctor ends in poor?
There's different words.
But that one's broad and the doctor is slender on the end?
Yeah. All the or and air ones are slender. It's just the way they are. They're different.
What's the word for nurse?
Nurse is bon ultra. We're actually going to do a bunch of these in a bit. Okay, so bon ultra is a nurse. Bon ultra is a nurse. So what's the nurse's name? Okay, don one ultra. Okay, karasanam don one ultra. Yeah, it's an H. Okay. Now, how would you ask, what is your cat's name?
The
cat. Okay. And how about what's your dog's name?
the water.
The quadra. Okay. So this one means four. This is your dog. Okay. Now, how would you say Bran? His name is Bran. Branasanam Do. Branasanam Do. Okay.
Could you just explain on 23 why there's two does?
The first do means for, and the second do means your. It's two different words that happen to look the same. Okay? And that's why it's important with any Irish idiom. Because in English you say, what is your name? In Irish you say, what is named for you? Okay? And critically, what is named for whoever? So what is named for the teacher? What is named for the priest? For the nurse? For your cat? Okay, so the important part is to ask about what someone's name is. What is the name for that person? Okay, and then you answer back to say his name is Bran. Bran is named for him. Okay, so you can't just translate English to Irish straight across. You have to say, okay, you have to take the English. Maybe if you're thinking in English or you have a thought in English. I mean, best you want to do is think in Irish, but if you can't do that, next best thing, you have your thought in English, and you go, okay, now what's the Irish equivalent to that? And then you try to put the words in. But Okay?
I'm sorry. If it wasn't your cat, if it was just a miscellaneous cat, would it be Don again?
It would be done,
Don,
yeah. So,
okay.
karasanan don kat.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Usually when you're asking the name of something, there's a specific one. It's either the one you're looking at, one you're talking about, or something, so it's always going to be definite. Okay? All right? So how do you ask, okay, let's see. How would you say then if we're asking about the nurse and you want to say the name is Mary? Maya is Anam G. Okay, because G is for her. Okay? Anam. Anam. Okay? So Mary is named for her, that means her name is Mary. Okay?
If
And
you
this-
want to say Mary is the nurse's name, would be Myra is on
Yeah, Mayra is Anam Don Wano. So Mary is named for the nurse, right? Okay, so Mayra is Anam, Don Wano. Mary is named for the nurse. Okay? I could say, we're going to talk about possessive a little bit later, but I could say Bran is Anam de Mahad, or de Mawadra. So Bran is the name of my dog. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit later more about how to say mine here. Okay. Just to give you a little bit, we're covering a lot of grammar in these lessons, and the reason I'm doing that is to sort of get you familiar with some of the grammar in advance. I'm going to bring in more reading stuff and that later once we've had grounding in this. But rather than having to explain every single sentence in great detail when we do reading or when we listen to stuff, this will at least give us a context to talk about it later. Okay. So. All right. Now, Irish has another way of saying what name someone has. Okay, and this one uses tá. All right? And that is to say that you have a name on you. Okay? Now, I told you the difference between is and tá. Is says what something is, tá says where or what something is like. Okay? So these are two different ways of looking at what your name is. In one case, you're saying, well, this is my name. This is the name for me. Okay? So that's where we're using is. But when we say that there's a name on you, you're talking about where that name is. It's on me, as opposed to on him or on her, whatever. Okay? So even though you're really saying the same thing, you're saying who you are or what your name is, in Irish, you're thinking about it a little different way. Okay? And so when something is on you, even if it's a name, then you use tá. Okay? So you're saying where it is. It's on me. Okay? So if I want to ask what's my name, I could say Ken Tanam Ta Ora. Okay? So literally, what the is Ken, comes from Ke an, which is what the. Anam is name, but since it's masculine, it gets a T stuck in front of it after un. So Ken Tanam, what name? Literally, what the name? A ta, that is, ora, on me. Okay? So here we're using the preposition er, meaning on, which we've talked about before when we talked about having sicknesses or having happiness or other things on you. Well, names are other things that are on you. Okay? So ken tanam ta ora is what's my name, or literally in Irish, what is the name that is on me? Okay? If I ask what is your name, ken tanam ta ora. What's the name that is on you? Okay, so what's changing is autumn, ort, and so on is on me, on you. We'll talk about the rest. What's his name, or what name is on him? Ken tanamata er. And what's her name? Ken tanamata erhi. And what are our names, or in Irish, what is the name that is on us? Ken tanamata orin. And what are your names to more than one person? Ken tanamata oro. And what are their names? Ken tanamata orha. Okay? So these forms, orum, ort, urhi, oring, orev, and orhu, are the same ones you use when you're talking about, what's wrong, karata. Okay? And we're going to find these various forms of error showing up all over the place in Irish for a lot of different expressions. Okay? So one of the jobs eventually you have to do is when you hear one of those, know who's being talked about. And also when you want to say something about him as opposed to her, then you need to know, okay, I got to use er as opposed to urhi. Okay? Okay, now, if you want to ask, what's your friend's name? Ken Panamata Erdachara. So what is the name that is on your friend? Er is on, Dachara your friend.